Okay, Aries, you are up first as per usual. Let's go ahead and see what is going on for this upcoming week. We have the Death card, the Seven of Swords, the Ten of Swords. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles reversed, and the Four of Swords. Okay. The bottom of the deck is the Four of Pentacles and the Lovers reversed. It looks to me like you're having some financial issues. There's a lot of changes that are happening in your life. There could also be some kind of ending or change that is occurring that is causing you to be a little bit more protective of your resources or even some kind of information that you're trying to keep a secret. I do think that there is some big ending, and this can have something to do with that full moon in Gemini that has occurred. And so you can still be feeling the effects of whatever this is this following week. I really want you to be cautious with your finances because I think with that Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles reversed, you can be feeling like you either spent too much or you financially betrayed yourself in some way, shape, or form. And now you have to kind of go into healing mode regarding your own personal financial decisions. There is an evolutionary process that's taking place, so it's not like this is all for nothing. It's not like you're just kind of, I don't want to say you're suffering, but it's not like you're suffering just to suffer. I think that what you're doing is you're going through some kind of ending that feels, to be honest, incredibly intense. And so now you're trying to strategize. Now you're kind of going within. You are a little bit more protective of yourself. I want to see what that Ten of Swords is. The Five of Wands. I'm wondering with that Mercury opposite Uranus that we're having this week, which is it's on the 10th. Okay. So Wednesday, maybe around that time. I feel like there's a heated discussion that's happening that really makes you want to disconnect from another person. And it can involve finances, my money versus your money, because I see so much financial stuff here. And if you're an Aries rising, for instance, this would be happening in the second and the eighth whole sign house of your chart, right? But regardless of what it is, you seem to be shutting something down. You're shutting it down. You don't want to deal with the drama anymore. You don't want the BS anymore. And so you're leaving something out, or you're feeling betrayed. You feel like you have to end something. Something is too much. It's like the Ten of Swords, you think about it. How many swords does it take to kill somebody? Not 10, right? Unless they're like the mountain from Game of Thrones, right? So I think that something is just an overkill for you. Something feels like an overkill. It feels like too much. And so now you're at this point where you may be pulling back. Maybe you're pulling back your own resources. Maybe somebody else is pulling back theirs, but it's leaving you in this place of feeling drained. And I hate to make it so negative, but I'm not going to like just make up a story for you, right? Like I have to tell you what's on the table. It's my responsibility, I think, as a reader. And so with the Four of Swords, you're thinking about things. You're going in and you are healing and you're being quite logical in regards to what your next steps are going to be regarding finances, regarding pulling back your energy from another person. It may very well be that you feel like somebody doesn't value you, or even that maybe somebody feels like you don't value them, and because there's this lack of gratitude somewhere, we're kind of missing what we had when we had it. Can be the vibe. Tell me about that Seven of Swords, the Three of Swords. Tell me about that Death card, the Fool. You're the one that's ending something. It is you. I do believe that. You're ending something because I feel like something has run its course. You're at this point where you feel like there's no way that we could go back here, we could have a new beginning in regards to this financial establishment, in regards to this relationship, in regards to you living in my house, or whatever it is. And I think it's almost as if you are trying to protect your heart, you are trying to protect your feelings, so you are ending something before someone else can end it with you. It feels like a preventative heartbreak or something like that, or trying to protect something that may hurt you. So, for instance, if you have somebody that is in your house and they're eating up all your food, or they're taking advantage of your living space or whatever, you're like, I can't suffer another blow from this. And I'm done talking about it. I'm done trying to argue with the said person. So, and I think that there's maybe another person here that could be abandoning the situation or pulling back, because to be honest, I think that you're saying that this is what needs to happen, because there's a protective energy that you're in. Tell me about that Four of Swords, the Tower reversed. It feels like somebody else is stepping back to avoid something being worse than what it already is. And you're maybe realizing that something is not in alignment. Like, you and someone else do not agree about certain things. Okay, it could be like trying to prevent infidelity, or trying to protect yourself from potential infidelity, and trying to protect yourself from making a really stupid financial decision, you know? You have believe in the impossible, but you have it reversed. You have house 2 reversed as well, which is finances, but it's making me feel like, because the house 2 is reversed, it's making me feel like it's about the opposite house, which would be the 8th house. The 8th house are other people's resources. It can be what we owe. Okay, it can be maybe you're needing to pay off some debts or something like that. You know, for some of you, maybe that's exactly what it is. But to me, this is about somebody else's recovery, comeback. Find strength and healing as each step forward renews hope and paves the way for a triumphant resurgence. So, where it says believe in the impossible reversed, I don't think this is the time for crazy optimism. Like, this isn't the time to be like, let's say that, you were told that you got the job, but you don't start for another week or something like that. And then you're like, oh my God, this is great. I'm going to be guaranteed the salary or whatever. And then you go and like spend a bunch of money, for instance, right? And now you can't, now they're telling you that you can't have the job, and now you're not, guaranteed the money. Kind of like, don't count your chickens before they hatch, can kind of be the vibe. So I feel like for you, at least right now, it's asking you to be very realistic in regards to your money, your finances, your debts, anything like that. I think that if there are issues around finances, I do think it will be fine with that recovery comeback. It's asking you to heal your finances. Maybe you're needing to budget. Maybe you relied on somebody for too long, and now you're needing to be more independent. Maybe somebody else relied on you too long, and it drained you, because I'm definitely getting a draining energy. But understand that this is a chance to rebuild something, whether it's psychologically, financially, or otherwise. Okay. So thanks a lot, Aries. If you want to book a reading with me, you can do so at violettaalexis.com. You can find that link in the description box below. Love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. All right, Taurus, you are up. Let's go ahead and see what is going on for you for this upcoming week. Okay, we have the Four of Wands reversed, the Page of Swords, a little bit behind the scenes here, the Nine of Swords reversed. Okay. The World reversed, the King of Swords, and the King of Wands. Okay. Well, the top row is you. The bottom half is something external from you. It seems like you're being a little bit low key, being a little bit, what's the right word? not promiscuous. What is that damn word? Inconspicuous. Okay. It seems like you're not really letting anyone in to your thought life, what it is that you're thinking. You may be keeping some kind of secret or some kind of information to yourself. I do feel though, like there's some kind of insecurity tied to you not wanting someone else to know something. Because that Four of Wands reverse can talk about where we're insecure. We have an insecurity and it's stopping us from doing something. It's stopping us from welcoming another person in. And it feels like it's more so like a secret thought or something that you are thinking. And I think with that Nine of Swords reverse, you may be wanting to let someone in to what it is that you're thinking. And even if you are, I don't think that you are, sorry, I keep saying the word think. I don't believe that you are letting someone all the way in. Even though it seems like there's some kind of stress and you're wanting to get something off of your chest, I don't think that you're giving the full Monty, basically. And there's a lot of masculine energy or pretty strong masculine energy this week that may be coming towards you. I know that we're having a square from Mars to Saturn, so there could be some, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of unfinished business with that world reversed. Somebody may be trying to give you advice as well in regards to how to complete a project or how to succeed at something that you're wanting to finish or complete. For some of you, if this is about love, I think that a couple people have their eye on you. For some of you, for a lot of you, it can be somebody from the past because the world is reversed. But it looks to me like you're spying on somebody. You're spying on somebody or you're trying to gather some level of information. I don't think your intentions are bad because the Page of Swords is upright, but the Four of Wands reverse tells me that you're keeping it to yourself. Okay. And a lot of you can just be, if that's not what it is, a lot of you can just be staying at home a lot this coming week. You can be learning something, doing some writing, studying. You know, the Page of Swords can be like where we're making a podcast or we're making a course, creating a course, learning, studying something, you know, and it's so that you can gather more information. For some of you, you can be learning from a man, okay? Like a man can be giving you some kind of really good insight and information in regards to something that you're wanting to succeed at. At the bottom of the deck, we have the, oh, wow. Okay. Well, the Ace of Cups and the Lovers. I think that you're curious about somebody. All right. You may be a little curious. The Page of Swords is very curious. I think that you're curious. I think that you're curious about somebody, but I don't think that you want them to know that you're curious. I believe that you have somebody that's more than curious. Somebody who is already determined, I like Taurus. I want Taurus. I like Taurus. And that's it. Like that's what it looks like to me. Okay. And this can be something that is a very strong pull between you and someone else. What are we doing with that Page of Swords? The Two of Wands reverse. Yeah, you're like, I don't know. You seem to be feeling something out. Feeling what out? The Ten of Cups, a relationship, love. But you're just feeling it out. And you're not like, I don't want this person to know. I don't want them to know I'm interested. Yeah, see Two of Cups behind that. Oh, Taurus. What's that World reversed? The Wheel of Fortune reversed. The past cycle that somebody else is having a hard time letting go of between the two of you. Okay. For some of you, this can be like a connection that's at a distance. I think that there's also someone here who's still, I don't want to say, I heard the word persistent, so maybe that's what it is, but somebody you have unfinished business with who hasn't really changed as well. What's that King of Wands intentions with Taurus? What are we doing here? The Eight of Wands. Yeah, I feel like someone's coming from a distance. What do they want? They want to talk. They want love. Could be a Leo. There's somebody here who's very attractive, sexy, somebody who is very confident in themselves. This could be like an actor, a performer, an entrepreneur of some sort, or they just have that very strong leadership energy. And it seems like they want to talk to you. They're trying to connect, but they want something to happen quick. Like they don't want it to be slow. What's that King of Swords intentions towards Taurus? The Ace of Swords. Everybody wants to talk to you this week about what? The Knight of Pentacles. There's some other kind of business deal. Somebody wants to talk to you about a project that you're working on or a project that they're working on. Maybe they want to exchange ideas. Okay. Maybe it's a job offer, a collaboration offer, something like that. Damn. I feel like this is something that you can rely on. This looks really good, Taurus. So you have somebody who is, who you're interested in, I think. And I think you have somebody who's interested in you, but it may not be obvious at first. You have a personal issue reaches a resolution, full moon in Cancer. And then you have Virgo. Then you have thrive and believe, embrace growth and trust and promise. Keep an open mind. Answers reveal the path to fulfillment. Oh my God. So I feel like you are keeping an open mind because that Page of Swords is in the upright. The Page of Swords is kind of like, it's mutable energy. It's Gemini energy. And I feel like whatever this is, because all the pages have an element of earth to them, right? And so I feel like what it is that you're doing, it's grounded in reality. Like you're not a fucking idiot, right? And I think with that Virgo energy, it's telling you to pay attention to the details. It's telling you to pay attention to the details of something. It's telling you to work on something, but you have to believe. And whatever this personal issue is, what is the issue? The Eight of Cups reversed. Something from the past is coming back around because it says full moon in Cancer. It can be around family or someone that you're emotionally tied to, somebody that you have lived with or you do live with, some kind of emotional tie, even an old relationship that may be coming back around, okay? So Taurus, that's what I have for you. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. That link is in the description. Thanks a lot, Taurus. Talk soon. Okay, Gemini, let's see what you have going on for this week. You guys are definitely going to feel it. There's a lot of Mercury transits happening this week. You have the Seven of Cups. Okay. The Page of Wands. Okay. Not mad at it. And the Hangman reverse. Okay. The Page of Cups reverse. The Moon. Lot of like Neptunian, uncertainty, confusing kind of energy. Devil reversed. Queen of Cups, the Magician. There's a manifestation of a relationship, manifestation of some level of emotions that I think that you're feeling. If you are manifesting love into your life, or that's been something that you've been attempting to do, I feel like you may be getting it, but there's a lot of confusion with that Seven of Cups. And if I'm going to be honest, I feel like you're a little naive, not in like a bad way necessarily, but it can be like an impulse of curiosity. You notice that the wand here, right, is bigger than the page. It's like your ideas or your excitement about something can be bigger than like where you are right now. It doesn't mean that you can't get there. I just think that your ideas and your options and all of these things, you're kind of like swimming underwater a little bit when it comes to those things. Now, all of the pages have an element of earth to them, which means that while yes, it's young and it's fresh and it's cute and it's whimsical and it's maybe a little naive, there's still an element of grounding this idea or this excitement or this impulse into reality. So I think that you're trying to figure out what your options are, maybe in regards to something new that you're wanting to start. I feel like you may also have some good news to share with another person. Good news may also be coming in. But the Hangman reverse tells me that this confusion, not really being sure what your options are or having too many options at once, kind of being spoiled for choice, is keeping you stagnant. So it's almost like when you go to a restaurant and you notice that they have like, you ever go to a restaurant and they have like so many choices on the menu that you're like, I don't even know what to do here, you know? Or you go to a restaurant where there's like 10 items on the menu and you're like, okay, this makes things a little bit easier. I feel like you're needing to narrow down your choices by grounding yourself in what is, I don't want to say realistic, because I feel like being too realistic can really ruin your chances for something bigger. But you're definitely needing to kind of filter out the best versus just the mediocre. Somebody around you, Page of Cups reversed, the Moon, the Devil reversed. I mean, it's not really my favorite. It makes me feel like somebody's level of immaturity is very prominent and is likely going to affect your energy. This person is responding from a place of fear. Now, this can also be a child, okay? Maybe you have a child who's a little sick, or you have a child who is maybe hurt or is going through something. I would definitely pay attention to that. I think that with that Devil reversed, you're able to actually do something about it because maybe you're very aware or you're very intuitive. It can also be around another person, like a relationship of some sort. But the Page of Cups reversed with the Moon, this can be somebody who is not really acting their age because of some level of trauma or heartache that they went through at a certain age. It's like that version of themselves is kind of being shown. But again, I think with the Devil reversed, there's a way out, okay? And I am going to clarify that Devil reversed. The 9 of Cups reversed. Okay. The fact that I think you're showing up as the Queen of Cups underneath of it all makes me feel like you are kind of the mature one in the connection, or the grounding force, I guess you could say. You're the one that's going to take an initiative and want to talk about things. And so I think there's somebody here who may be acting quite selfishly, or to be honest with you, it seems like they may have some negative coping mechanisms. There could be a codependency, maybe you're a woman and you're dating a man that has like a ton of mommy issues, and he's not looking for a wife, or he's not looking for a girlfriend. He's looking for a mommy, and it's like, okay, well, now that we know, or we are aware of what that issue is, and I think that this person is aware as well, but I also think that there's shame around whatever this addiction is, or this coping mechanism is, or how they just deal with their emotions. I think that there's an awareness, and because there's an awareness and an admittance of it, I think you're able to work with it a little bit easier. So I do want to see what we're doing with that Page of Wands. The Temperance. Love that. I think that you're feeling very creative. I think you're feeling really creative. I think that you're feeling a little spicy. I think that whatever it is that you're trying to create, there is an element of strong passion and vigor towards whatever it is. And I think this thing that you're wanting to begin, or this thing that you're wanting to start, you may feel at peace because you know that it's going to, or has already had, or will bring a lot of balance into your life. Now, I want to see that Hangman reversed. The 3 of Wands. I don't think you need to wait around. I think that you need to come up with a game plan, and I think that you need to execute it. And sometimes that can be something as simple as a to-do list, right? Like, let's say you're a Gemini rising, right? And let's see, we're going to have Mercury opposite Uranus in Taurus, which is retrograde. And you're a Gemini rising. This is going to happen in your 6th and 12th house axis. To-do lists, right? 6th house can be where we're doing our day planners and our to-do lists, so we can get shit done instead of sabotaging ourselves by having too many options or by procrastinating. Tell me about that 7 of Cups. The 6 of Wands. Okay. So there may be this confusion on whether or not this thing that you're going to start is actually going to be successful. And we never know until we do. We never know until we try. And so it's really about you being okay with being seen. It's really about you stepping into the limelight or taking on a level of responsibility regardless of your fears. So that way you can manifest that success to you by actually acting on something, okay? Because I think you're doing this analysis paralysis thing where you're like, are people going to like it? Or, why the Page of Cups reversed? The Lovers reversed. I don't know if this person could like, have some escapist tendencies when you guys have a disconnect, or, maybe it's a child, that there's some kind of escapist tendency that this person tends to default to when they're feeling uncomfortable or when they're feeling some level of fear. You and your loved ones are safe. So I think everything's going to be okay. This is kind of a call to don't worry. I'm not telling you not to worry about your kids or your partner or anything like that, but the focus needs to be a little bit more on you, because as far as your relationships goes or your family goes, I feel like that's settled. Okay. Shield of resilience, employ your shield of resilience, guarding against external pressures while nurturing your internal strength in love and career. So you may feel that way. You may feel like you're responsible for everybody's emotions, but it's like, if you do that, if you spend all of that energy trying to monitor other people's emotions and how they're feeling or whatever, you're not going to have any energy for you and your own thing, which is what you need to be focused on. Okay. Especially with all these Mercury transits and that being your ruler, you're going to feel it. But there are really, really good transits. We're just going to have that Mercury opposite Uranus. Okay. So it's time to kind of buckle down and lock in. So that's what I have for you, Gemini. Thank you guys so much. If you want to book a personal reading, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. Thanks a lot, Gemini, and have a great week. Okay, Cancer, let's go ahead and see what you have coming up for this week. King of Wands reversed. Not my favorite, but let's see. The 7 of Cups, Gemini got that. And you have the Queen of Pentacles. These are both your energy. Okay. Something outside of you, 7 of Pentacles. The Death reversed. I feel like old investments are coming up for a review. Are you still doing this? Are you still committed? The Devil reversed. Gemini got this in the exact same place as well. Maybe some of you are dealing with a Gemini. We have the Temperance and the 6 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay. You got to show up for yourself, Cancer. Nobody else is really going to do it for you. I mean, I'm not saying that people won't show up for you, but when it really comes to executing something, you're the one that's going to have to do it. Okay. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think that you're doing really well when it comes to your work or your finances. Like, maybe you have a really good routine down. Maybe you're cutting out certain things in your routine to make time for other things. That Queen of Pentacles is a good omen for like being very stable, taking initiative in regards to maybe your health or your work, taking care of your kids, your bank statements, whatever it is. However, there's some confusion or delusion around who you are. And what I mean by that is the King of Wands reverse. The King of Wands reverse can sometimes want a certain level of notoriety or let's say a crown, right? Without actually taking on some level of responsibility. Now, this can also be somebody who needs to really show up and show out. You could have been taking this very conservative approach, very service-oriented approach to your work or just in regards to your daily life. But I think that that's not coming from a place of like, this is who I am and this is what I want to do. I think that you have more to offer. I think that there's a little bit of lack of, like, what is the best way that I can explain this? So let's say that you always really wanted to be an actor or an actress, right? And you're always thinking about it. It's always in the back of your mind, but you're like, oh, well, that's just a silly little fantasy, 7 of Cups. I'm just going to keep, working at my 9 to 5 or working at the register because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And don't get me wrong, like, there's something about this that's working for you, but I also believe that there's more. And I think that with that 6 of Wands and the Temperance, once you calm yourself, once you start to realize that what you deem as impossible can actually be possible for you, that's when you're going to feel more at peace. But you're going to have to step out before you think that you're ready. Okay? So like, for instance, if you're a Cancer rising and you're having that Mercury opposite Uranus in your 5th and 11th house axis, you can be feeling insecure about how you're wanting to express yourself because maybe you're afraid of being truly seen. But it's saying like, no, you need to do this. Okay. And I think that something can come back up here in regards to like an old investment or something that you're working on. Somebody can ask like, okay, do you still like want to do this? Or, You know, are you still invested in this collaboration? Are you still invested in these stocks? Like something is coming back up for review. What is that death reversed? The 10 of Cups. Oh. Well, you know, it can be something like, it can be something as simple as your parents asking, you know, did you still want to rent out that room? You know, did you still want to rent out that room that you were talking about? Or it can be about a past relationship that maybe has just been kind of hanging over your head and, you know, is not finished or has not ended. Like, and for some reason it's coming back up for you. What's the Devil reversed? The Star reversed. I mean, there's an awareness and an understanding that there's a lack of healing and a lack of hope in a situation. Okay. How is Cancer responding to this? The Judgment. You seem to be reconciling with something or someone. And the Judgment card is truly about seeing your hand and how you played it in a certain situation, whether that was for the better or the worse or whatever. But there's a level of accountability that you seem to be taking in regards to a family situation or some kind of long-term investment regarding some level of relationship that's kind of been in the background or hanging over your head. And so I think that's going to help you move in some kind of positive direction. Why are all these cards separate like this? Okay, I don't know what that is. Because you're taking some kind of responsibility for something. Why is the King of Wands reversed? The Four of Pentacles. You're very held back. The Four of Pentacles likes to show up when we refuse to take a chance because we're fearing that we're going to lose something. We're fearing that we're going to be seen. We're fearing That's what it really comes down to. It's like, don't get me wrong, consistency in a certain direction is great, right? And I think that you have that, but you're killing your spirit by telling yourself that you can only do this said thing. So it's almost like it's this conflict between what you're doing on a day-to-day basis and just, okay, eat, sleep, you know, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, whatever order. Okay. But there's something more. There's something more for you, but there's a fear of taking a chance of whatever that thing is. Because you feel like, oh, that's not responsible. Or, okay, well, do you think that like 10 years ago when somebody told me that I was going to be a tarot reader on YouTube that I would have believed them? No, I would have dead ass laughed in their face. Well, here we are, right? Why is that Seven of Cups there? The Six of Cups reversed. You can feel like something is a pipe dream. You can be like, oh, like that was something I wanted in childhood, or that was just like something I used to dream about. That's childish. I don't want to look at that. We have It's Time to Release Negativity reversed. We have Sagittarius. And then we have Plan Wisely. Cultivate success through meticulous research and strategic plotting. Your foresight will unveil new paths. Well, I'm thinking about Sagittarius and how Sagittarius is all about optimism and the bigger picture, right? What our highest purpose is, or like the ninth house can be about that, right? And like you may be thinking that this is too much of a stretch. It's too out of your reach. How ridiculous, right? Well, why don't you, if you feel like you need to feel safer about whatever this thing is, why don't you make a to-do list? One thing at a time can be the vibe. One thing at a time. So what do I mean by this? Like maybe you decide if you want to be an actor or an actress, you decide to watch first before you do anything crazy. You just watch maybe some tutorials on how to act. Okay. Something as simple as that. And then maybe once you do that, maybe you decide to eventually work up to an acting coach, whatever it is. Okay. So kind of small steps, but it doesn't mean that the small steps can't lead to the big picture. It absolutely can. But for you, you just may be kind of needing to do this one step at a time. As far as this full moon in Scorpio, it's time to release negativity in reverse card. Mm. A full moon in Scorpio is making me think of the opposite of what that would be, which would be a new moon in Taurus. Okay. Because Taurus is the opposite sign of Scorpio. And so it makes me feel like there's an issue around self worth or self value. And I want you to figure out where that is coming from, where you feel, Cancer, like you don't have some level of worth or value that is available to you, and what you can do about that. Like sometimes it's really just about getting out of your own way and doing something before you feel like you're ready. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Cancer. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. That information is in the description box below. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. All right, Leo, I hope that you are doing well. Let's go ahead and see what is going on for you. The Knight of Cups reversed. The Lovers reversed. The Seven of Swords reverse. All right, you guys might need to reverse this reading, okay? These are just general. Get a personal if you need to, all right? I can't help how the cards come out. The Knight of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles reversed. The Six of Pentacles reversed. My goodness gracious. Okay. There's a level of discomfort regarding your foundation, potentially in a relationship. The Knight of Cups reversed and the Lovers reversed is somebody who may be projecting their desires onto another person, projecting some kind of ideal onto a relationship, you know, or even if it's not a particular person, just whatever it is that you fantasize about. Oh, I want this in this exact way, but it feels like it's not really working out, or you feel like your efforts have not necessarily been reciprocated, which could make you feel, to be honest with you, jealous or in a mood. And, you know, I'm not going to lie to you, Leo. For some of you, you're being quite manipulative this coming week, okay? You could be being a little bit manipulative, and you could be having some level of conscience around that, especially if there's been some level of infidelity or lies or some kind of disconnect. I think what you really want is a solid foundation, but again, there may be something or a relationship that was built on a faulty one. So, of course, I am going to clarify. There's somebody here around you, maybe a coworker, maybe a partner, something. The Knight of Pentacles tells me that there's somebody around you who is really attempting to put in the work. But the Ten of Pentacles reverse can be where it's feeling like for nothing, or I'm working and I'm working, and I don't really think that this is going to last, or like this is really going anywhere. Although this person is showing up, they're really making a gallant effort to show up. But the Six of Pentacles reverse makes me feel like this person may either A, take advantage, or they may end up pulling back their energy or potentially their resources because something isn't really working out. Now, for some of you, if this is where you feel like you and somebody, because I mean, look at this, that Lovers is actually on top of that Ten of Pentacles reversed. And so I'm kind of wondering if you're feeling like, okay, well, this isn't really working out, or this love relationship isn't really working out. So maybe I'm going to throw myself into my work. But again, it doesn't really seem like what it is that you're taking action on or what you're working on. You don't really feel like it's going to last, or you're putting too much stock or emphasis on what other people are saying about your relationship or what it is that you are working on. So then you're feeling like what you're working on or what you're doing doesn't actually have value. The best example I can give, like the other day, I had this Aries guy and we were having a conversation, and everything that I told him I was interested in, like I told him that I did tarot, he had to degrade it. I told him that I liked astrology, he degraded it. He made me feel, or he was trying to make me feel like an idiot, but you could tell it was just like insecurity. That's what this reminds me of. So I don't know if that's you or somebody else, but like maybe it's somebody else who's like, oh yeah, I'm working on this and I'm working on that, and you're just kind of shutting them down at every turn. You know, it can be that as well. So I want to see what this Knight of Cups reversed is about. The Queen of Wands reversed. Yeah, there's some kind of jealousy that you're having. Tell me about that. Lovers reversed. The Two of Swords. There's definitely bigger things at play. Why is that Seven of Swords reversed? The Eight of Swords reversed. I need one more. The Six of Swords. To be honest with you, Leo, some of you are in a mood because you feel like somebody else is. You may be feeling like you need to manipulate your way around a situation or a person's perspective of you because you feel like they're angry with you and they are being very adamant or obvious that they are angry or jealous or something like that. And so you may be trying to manipulate your way around a situation. I think that there's a disconnect or a conflict, but it's like you may be trying to avoid, you know, the elephant in the room. And you do have a conscience about it. You feel some level of guilt around that because, to be honest with you, I think that you may be the culprit. And I'm really sorry for some of you. This is obviously reversed. Okay. There's nothing I can really do about that. And I think that you're having a conscience about like sweeping it under the rug or pretending like it doesn't exist. Eight of Swords reversed and the Six of Swords. Something about that Ten of Pentacles reversed. The Ace of Cups. It's like there's love here. So I think that somebody's trying to offer you love or offer you some kind of opportunity. But they may be pulling that opportunity either because you are making them embarrassed about what they have to offer, or you are, you know, shutting them down a little bit, or they're afraid what like their family may think about an opportunity that they may be trying to offer you. Why the Six of Pentacles reversed? The Five of Cups reversed. Somebody seems to be like, I think somebody was trying to help you, or somebody is trying to help you, but unfortunately they're redacting that help because I think that they feel like they're being taken advantage of, or like you don't appreciate it or something like that, and they're like, it's okay, like no problem. That's honestly the vibe. What are Leo's feelings about this person? The Three of Wands. You want to see what could happen, but I think with that Page of Swords reverse under the deck or whatever, you may be making a lot of assumptions about this person, or kind of putting your foot in your mouth a little bit. I would, like, in my opinion, I would just be cautious, Leo. Your commitment is being tested in reverse. And then you have Mercury. And adapt to transformation. Embrace change with open arms, for it is the catalyst for your evolution and growth. I don't feel like it's your commitment that's being tested. I feel like it's your level of honesty and communication and your mental maturity that's being tested. That's what's really being tested, because it's asking you to be open-minded. It's asking you to be a better communicator. It's asking you to be open. It's asking you to be honest and truthful. Okay. So I'm not saying that you're not, but I feel like that's what where the test is, because it's telling you like something may be trying to help you evolve, or someone may be trying to help you, but you may be shutting it down because maybe you're too proud, or you know, maybe you're embarrassed or something along those lines. Okay. So just a word of caution. I don't think it's going to be all bad, but like really ask yourself if it's worth it to shut this person out or whatever. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Leo. Thank you guys so much. I hope you'll like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. You can find that link in the description box below. Take care, Leo. Virgo, you are up. Let's go ahead and see what is going on for you. What the hell was that? I don't know if you guys just saw that. Okay. You can see my dog back there. It's kind of blending in with the background, my little Starlo Arlo. All right, you have the Six of Wands reversed, the King of Cups, the Ace of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles, the Magician reversed, the Nine of Cups. Well, the top is you. The first three cards are you. The last three cards are something or someone external from you. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands reversed. Okay, well, it seems like you are trying to hide out a little bit. You're being a little bit more inconspicuous. Who got something like this? Taurus got something similar. Maybe you're dealing with the Taurus. Maybe you have that in your chart. But this, ma'am, it's okay. Relax. My cat does not like my dog. My dog does like my cat, though. I don't know. Maybe that's relevant to your reading. So the Six of Wands reverse can be where we're not trying to draw attention to ourselves sometimes. But the King of Cups tells me that you're in this feeling. You have these emotions that you may not necessarily be outwardly expressing. You may be in love with someone. Maybe you are already with a spouse. Maybe you are trying to date somebody new with that Ace of Wands. However, the King of Cups is usually a pretty solid, established love. And again, I don't think that you are outwardly expressing what it is that you're feeling, but you are feeling. And the Ace of Wands tells me that there's a very strong attraction or a very strong motivation in regards to something that you or someone that you are emotionally attached to. Again, the Six of Wands reverse tells me that there may be a little bit of fear or, again, not quite ready to draw attention to yourself for whatever reason. The Nine of Pentacles with the Magician reversed and the Nine of Cups, there's someone in your life who's pretty independent. The nines are someone who's very self-focused, very independent, very confident, enjoying their life, focusing on their creativity, or spending even a lot of time alone. The Magician reverse tells me that this person may have some level of doubt in regards to the situation. I don't think that it's self-doubt. Sometimes the Magician reverse can be where we are doubting ourselves, but because the two nines are in the upright, it tells me this person is pretty confident in regards to who they are on an individual level, because again, the nines represent individuality or the self. The Three of Pentacles is here with the Eight of Wands reversed. You may be wanting some level of collaboration or trying to get on the same page with somebody, but you may feel like you're blocked or you have somebody else blocked, or you may be feeling like you're trying to force something if you do this. Okay, thank you. I let him have my chicken noodle soup and he was being super loud about it and I just can't focus. Okay, so Valeria, he's not bothering you. He tries to be her friend so badly and she's like, meh. So Aquarius and Leo, these two. Oh, I didn't even think they're opposite signs. How funny. Okay, anyway, moving on. I want to see why the Six of Wands is in reversed. The World card. It almost feels like you want to do something right. Like you don't want to make a big show about something. There's either like a mentality in your life or a project or something that you've been working on that you feel isn't really ready to be shown. And sometimes that can be like your inner psyche or certain feelings or parts of yourself that have matured. But for some reason, I think that you doubt it. Okay. For some of you, if I'm going to be honest, you can be swallowing your pride to deliver some level of closure to another person, just because I see that King of Cups there with the Ace of Wands. Because you seem to be pretty motivated. Valeria, relax. I'm so sorry. This has only happened in your reading, nobody else's. So maybe that's symbolic, right? Maybe it's like you and somebody else, right? Because we're thinking about my cat who's a Leo and we're thinking about my dog who's an Aquarius. These are opposite signs. Maybe it's an opposites attract thing. Maybe, you know, you're Valeria, where you're not wanting somebody to come around you, and somebody else is Arlo, where, you know, Arlo is very persistent in wanting to connect with Valeria, or maybe it's opposite. I feel like you would be Arlo in this situation just because we have the King of Cups and the Ace of Wands. For some of you, okay, for a very small portion of you, there can be somebody new that you're interested in, but you cannot, maybe you're really kind of doubting it or second guessing it because you still have love for someone else. That can be it as well. So, let me see, what relevance does this person on the bottom have to do with Virgo? The Page of Swords. I think that this is somebody new. I think that you're curious about somebody new. I think that your Taurus got this energy as well. Hi, Arlo. God. There's a persistence here, isn't there? The Page of Swords. This can be somebody that you know maybe from social media, somebody that you know from somebody that you know from social media, somebody that you met online, somebody that you met through some kind of educational thing, right? Maybe some kind of study group, who knows? And it feels like, what's this person's connection to Virgo? The Temperance reversed. I feel like this person is incredibly self-focused. Like they're very self-focused. They think that there's something very impossible about creating a connection with you, or even if it's like a business thing. Why? The Three of Cups. This person may friend zone you. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Reverse this if you need to, Virgo, okay? What is that King of Cups towards? The Page of Cups reverse could be towards a younger person who's not really expressing themselves to you. This is so specific. It could be in regards to a younger person. Okay. I wonder if this person just kind of sees you as a friend. I hate to like say that, okay? But you know, and for some of you, if you're wanting to collaborate with somebody else, you may be feeling a little bit insecure, although you have some kind of emotional maturity about you. Like, I think that you are going about something in the right way. Like, I really do. I think that you're going something, I think you're going about something in the right way. And I think the only problem is this person, whoever this is, seems to be so self-focused that they're like, yeah, no, I don't want to really collaborate right now. Like, I really appreciate it or whatever, but I don't really think you get me. You know, I don't really think that we have the same kind of content, or maybe this is somebody that you're meeting, or maybe it's an ex or whatever. And they're like, yeah, I'm just like, I'm happy on my own, right? The Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups is somebody who's pretty secure with where they're at in life in the moment. Why the Magician reversed? The Fool. I don't really think that they're trying to have it like a new start, is what it feels like, to be honest with you. How does this person see Virgo? The Chariot, Cancer energy. This person could feel like you're very determined, you know? Give me one more. The Two of Wands reverse. Very determined, but it's like you don't really have a plan in place. Like you're all go with nowhere to go. That's kind of how they see it. Reverse it if you need to. Confidence is your key to success. So remember, I told you about that Six of Wands. Hello. I told you about that Six of Wands reversed, where you maybe kind of like, maybe you're dimming your shine a little bit, or you're trying to come off as more like more conservative or something because you don't want to freak somebody out. Then we have Taurus. I told you, you guys had like a lot of similar cards happening here. And then stop and reflect, pause in your journey and appreciate how far you've come and where you're headed. Don't let your insecurities, you know, put a collar around your neck and walk you like a dog, you know? I think that you have a lot to be confident about. I think that you have a lot of value. I think it's more about slow and steady wins the race. I think it's about building something that matters, building something that is not going to destruct, right? And sometimes that takes time. So I think it's asking you to reflect and appreciate where you are now so that you can even build something better or progress in the way that you're going. So that's what I have for you, Virgo. Thank you so much. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. Sorry for the mini pet and animal disruptions. I appreciate your patience. I'll talk to you soon, Virgo. Bye for now. What's going on, Libra? Your time is up. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. We have the Moon in your energy. The Emperor. Everybody's showing up as a freaking masculine today. The Four of Swords reversed. Seven of Wands reversed for something external from you. The Five of Swords. Oh, boy. Okay. Eight of Wands reversed. King of Swords reversed. Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Arlo. Come here, buddy. All right. You seem a bit unsettled. There's some things that you feel like you don't really know. There may be some confusion. I don't feel like it's super fear-based. I really think that you're kind of shoving your emotions and what you're feeling and what you feel like you don't understand. You're shoving it down and you're not really looking at it. Because that Emperor there in your energy tells me that you're detaching from things that are going to stop you from getting what it is that you want and progressing in your life. And so if you have been kind of working behind the scenes, healing a little bit, you know, kind of staying home a lot, you may be coming out of that at this time. For some of you, if you have been in your head about something, someone, a work situation, something that you're trying to strive for, again, you're detaching from some fear. You're saying, it's almost like you're perceiving a thought and you're like, where is that coming from? Is that fear legitimate or did I just make that up in my head? So I think that's really good because you're almost looking outside of yourself as like you're looking outside looking in. Does that make sense? Of your own thought life. And to be honest with you, I think if more people did that, they would probably be a lot happier. However, with you, I think you're dealing with some haters. I think that you may have some people who are intentionally trying to make you second guess yourself, question yourself, make you feel insecure, because I think that people feel intimidated by something that you have or what you are. And so you may find that people are trying to gaslight you, play games with you, mess with your head a little bit. They're trying to block your efforts. And I hate to say that, right? But that's kind of what it feels like. It feels like people trying to mess with you. You know, it's like sometimes when I have guys, you know, come into my stream and they're like, you're old, you're ugly, you're fat, right? Whatever it is that they say, right? It's just projection. It's just projection. And I think that that is what you're kind of dealing with. And you have to keep in mind, like, those things aren't true, right? These people are just trying to gaslight you. They're trying to, it almost feels like somebody is trying to diminish your efforts or downplay. That's what it is. Downplay your efforts. You're like, oh, okay, well, you know, and if you look at this guy on this card, right? It's technically a girl, but if you look at the Emperor on this card, is that a pose of somebody that is deeply wounded, you know, by somebody that came in their chat and called them old or fat or ugly or whatever, you know, like probably not. I feel like you're pretty relaxed about it. I'm not saying that it doesn't affect you. Like I think with that moon card, it may make you second guess yourself, but I think it's just somebody's intent. Tell me about that moon. The Three of Swords reverse. Somebody's trying to poke at an insecurity, in my opinion. I also think that for some of you, you've been dealing with something or trying to heal from something for a while, and you may have felt like you've been shoving it down and shoving it down. I want to say be cautious with that, Libra, because I think that if you do that, it may show up in your external reality, or it may show up as anxiety or sickness or a bellyache, you know, things like that. Tell me about that Four of Swords reverse. The Four of Wands. I love this. You're getting out of the house. You're letting go of your fears. Like for a lot of you, if you've been kind of down and out for a while, suppressing your emotions, having a lot of fears, a lot of people trying to instigate your fears, etc. You're like, you know what? I don't need that. I know who I am, right? The Emperor knows who he or she is. The Emperor is not stupid. The Emperor is not going to let some petty troll on the internet or you know, some heartbreak stop them from succeeding. It's not going to break them, right? And that's kind of where you are. And so I think that a lot of you are going out, you're having fun, maybe you're getting out of the house a little bit. Okay. So I do want to see that Seven of Wands reversed. I just want one. I want to see that Seven of Wands. Got it. I hate these cards sometimes. Tell me about that Seven of Wands, please. Left shuffle. The Two of Pentacles. It's like somebody's trying to create chaos in your life a little bit, and I think that's because they feel like they can't handle something. Because you're showing up as such a leader and so like dominant, okay, like a daddy or a mommy, you know what I'm saying? Like very dominant, and I think it's making someone feel some kind of way. Tell me about that Five of Swords. The Tower reversed. It feels like somebody's trying to keep you from changing, to keep you from change. See? Nine of Swords, Three of Pentacles reversed. Someone wants you to be in your head. Look, Ten of Swords. It might be coworkers, if I'm going to be honest with you, or just people that you see on like a day-to-day basis. Tell me about that Eight of Wands reverse. This is pretty like to the point. The Ace of Swords. I don't think that this is something new though. It's almost like people trying to play mind games with you, being very passive aggressive, putting their foot in their mouth, not saying what it is that's really going on or why they're mad or why they're judging you, but you know the truth. They don't have to say it. Like, have you ever heard of, you know, like when people on TikTok say something like, tell me you're heartbroken without telling me you're heartbroken. You know, it's like another way. It's very obvious to you of why someone's acting like this, even though they're trying to hide it. The energy is gaining momentum reversed. I feel like this is going to slow down. Okay. I think that this is just a moment. And then we have Yang, which is very masculine energy, which you're already showing up in. And then we have revelations await, embrace the mystery, embark on a journey of discovery, and watch as secrets unveil before you. Okay. So embrace what you don't know. You know, you don't need to know everything. I think that you already know a lot. I think that you're very clear. I think that you can read between the lines of why people are acting weird or acting the way that they're acting. I don't think that this is going to mess you up. I think with that Yang energy, it's asking you to continue to be proactive and make sure that nothing stops you from going after your goals and getting what it is that you really want, because I think that you deserve it. You've done a lot of work. So Libra, that is what I have for you. Thank you so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. You can find that information in the description box below. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week. All right, Scorpio, it is your time to shine. Let's go ahead and see what's going on for you this week. A lot of transits happening in your sign, okay? Mercury going through your first house or wherever Scorpio is for you. Making a trine to Saturn, making a trine super, super early in the week to Jupiter, making a trine to Neptune as well, in opposition. The Queen of Pentacles reverse wanted to pop out. Careful of your finances. All right, show me Scorpio. Ooh, 10 of Pentacles. I heard continue to maintain something and then do better. 9 of Swords reverse. Okay. The King of Cups. Damn, are you guys getting into a relationship? Are you already in a relationship? You could be in love with someone or have very strong feelings towards a person. You're very focused on your goals. But let's see. King of Pentacles reversed. Some of you are gay. It's obviously not all of you. The Two of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. Obviously not all of you are gay. Okay. It's just, I just saw two kings here and I thought, well, maybe. So this is definitely about seeing the potential of something, but potentially making or taking a passive approach. This could be where we have an inner knowing that we're not really talking about. There's something intuitively that we feel that we're not talking about. I love the 10 of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords reverse, and the King of Cups in your energy. It's really weird. What I've noticed for this set of readings is almost like every reading, like in the person's energy, in the sign's energy, is showing up as masculine. And maybe there's a reason for that. I'm not really sure. So kind of interesting. So some of you guys need to reverse it, but you're very focused on your legacy, your wealth, your long-term success and goals. There could be a relationship that's going really, really well. This is not about what you're necessarily doing right now. This is about what you're doing right now and how that's going to provide for you in the next 10 years or whatever the case may be. This is long-term wealth. For some of you, maybe you're getting an inheritance, maybe you're winning a lawsuit. For others of you, it just feels like you're pretty settled this week. You're pretty settled in where you are. Again, money looks awesome. Stability looks awesome. And again, for some of you, you are in some kind of committed relationship, okay? Or you're wanting to be. A lot of you are stabilizing your mental health. You may be talking to a therapist with that 9 of Swords reversed to the King of Cups. There may be some things that you kind of want to get off your chest. I am going to clarify what those things are. So it can be that you guys are actually focused on therapy, okay? Now, something external from you, King of Pentacles reversed, 2 of Pentacles, and the 9 of Pentacles. Somebody's pretty self-serving, okay? It may be that somebody's a bit self-serving. I don't know, like, for instance, if this is somebody you're wanting to collaborate with in regards to a business partnership, they may be more interested in what they can take as opposed to what they can give, okay? They're just trying to kind of maintain their finances or maintain the relationship that you guys have now, but they're more so focused on their own sense of independence, enjoying their wealth, enjoying the money that they're making or whatever it is. But I feel like maybe you already know this. You may already have an intuitive notion that this person is not really willing to commit to something or not really willing to commit to a relationship. Okay, if it's love, then I would say that the same is true. It's more about what this person can take as opposed to what this person can give. You know, like for instance, if you're a Scorpio rising, you have this Mars transiting your second house, and it's squaring Saturn in the fifth. So you may feel like somebody doesn't see your value, right? Mars is you. You may be trying to give someone something and you just feel like they're taking, or you feel like they don't want your help or they don't want what you have to offer. There can be some, regardless of where you have Scorpio, there can be some disagreements. There can be some disagreements regarding the lower mind and the details of things. Mercury versus Uranus retrograde in Taurus, some kind of conversation that we've already visited before. And you could really feel like somebody is acting in a bit of a surprising way, or there could be, again, a lot of disagreements, but I feel like it's going to be very enlightening for you. So let's see that 9 of Swords reversed and what that is about. The Hierophant reversed. I think that you're so stable within yourself and kind of where you're going and feeling financially stable that I don't think that you're too worried about a potential relationship. Like even if it's something that's unconventional or non-traditional or a little weird or a little off, or right, maybe there's like a crazy age gap, or I don't know, right? Not too crazy, right? But maybe there's like a weird age gap or something like that. And it's like you're just not stressed about it. You're really not worried about it. Maybe it's like you're an atheist and this person is a Christian. It's like, you know what? I really don't care. I love this person. You know, it can kind of be that where you're not too stressed about it. Why the King of Pentacles reversed? The World reversed. Okay. Give me one more. The Queen of Swords reversed. This person may kind of feel like they're not really certain about some kind of unfinished business and whether or not they have that to offer you or offer a situation, which can feel a little bit triggering. There can be somebody here who feels like they can't really commit to you because of some kind of unfinished business that they have with another person. Tell me about that 2 of Pentacles. the Temperance. They're just trying to like keep their head above water, man. You know what I mean? Like that's what it feels like. I'm just trying to keep my head above water. You know, I'm just trying to make things happen for myself. The Two of Pentacles, I believe it's Jupiter and Capricorn. So this can be where we have a lot of responsibilities. We have a lot of work to do. And we're feeling like we can't really commit to something, especially from the past, Mercury opposite Uranus retrograde in Taurus, right? And so we're like, I don't know, like maybe give me some time, or maybe there's just some kind of delay. Mercury oppositions can represent a delay due to another person. What's the advice for Scorpio? Just curious. Hermit, I would go within. I would like take some time out. I would take some time to like kind of be alone and be by yourself and, you know, focus on your own internal wisdom. Because remember, I do see that high priestess and that Knight of Swords reverse. It's like you may be seeing a potential in a situation, but you may want it right now. You know, you may want to like try to force something or whatever the case is. It's telling you relax. It's telling you to chill out for a second, okay? Show the world the real you reversed. I heard, does somebody deserve that though? That's what I heard. Does somebody deserve that? Like maybe you're revealing too much. Maybe you need to be a little bit more secretive, right? Mercury and Scorpio. Mercury's in Scorpio right now. Maybe you need to be a little like chill out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Keep some, leave some to the imagination, right? And then Scorpio. Oh my God, no freaking way. Yeah, I told you. Be a little bit more, you know, on the low. Then we have protected. Find solace in the safety of knowing you are sheltered and guided through life's tempest towards tranquil shores. So it's just basically saying like you're protected, but also protect your information. Like again, you don't need to trauma dump or overshare or whatever. Don't do that. It's telling you to kind of lay low a little bit. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio. Thank you guys so much. I will talk to you soon and have a great week. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what's going on for you this week. Keep in mind, Mercury is going to move into your sign by the end of the week, so you're going to be probably pretty busy. So let's see what's going on here. Okay. The World, the Knight of Wands reversed, the Queen of Swords, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Cups, okay, and the Four of Cups reversed. I like it, honestly. There's something that you are succeeding at. You're finally completing whatever it is. And it's going to feel good. It's something that's going to feel like it's going to be long-term, something that's going to last for a while, okay? With the Knight of Wands reversed, there can be a maturation process that you're currently going through, especially regarding like your goals and what you're wanting to complete, etc. Maybe where you felt like you had some lack of direction in your life, you could be kind of figuring it out now. Maybe with that Mercury opposite to Uranus that we're having midweek, there can be some grand epiphany in regards to what it is that you want to say, something that you may want to say to someone, something that you're trying to communicate, something that you're trying to work on, something that you're trying to write or once again create. And it seems like you're doing really well with whatever it is. You have your head screwed on straight. I do want to see what that Knight of Wands reversed is, the Justice card. Okay. So again, I think if you felt like a lack of direction in some kind of area in your life, I think that this is the time where you can be very honest with yourself about what that's going to look like and the decision that you need to make in order to move uh move along with it. Maybe it's like some kind of legality or maybe you're needing to get in touch with a lawyer or whatever. You figure out what lawyer you want. Maybe it's something in regards to a writing project and you're figuring out, you know what, I want my blog to be about XYZ. I want my blog to be about health. That's what I'm going to do. So it feels like you're buckling down with something and you're making a very definitive decision in regards to whatever that is. Okay. Love the bottom here. The Two of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Four of Cups reversed. once was what once upon a time a little bit of a disappointing situation, or where you felt like maybe somebody wasn't very grateful for you, or maybe where somebody was taking you for granted, maybe you were doing that, whatever the case is. It seems like there's a connection in your life that is making you feel good. It's making you feel good. There's some kind of reprieve. There's an understanding between two people in regards to what it is that you specifically want. And it seems like it's a wish fulfilled, especially around a very specific connection in your life. It doesn't have to be a lover. Okay. The Two of Cups is like a soulmate energy. And I don't know about you, but I have a best friend that is absolutely my soulmate. So maybe it's that, but you know, right? So you know what it is. For some of you, this can be an elevation or a relationship moving on to the next step, potentially because you are communicating exactly what it is that you want. And because you're communicating, because you're initiating said communication, this is Libra, cardinal air, you're initiating the communication. It feels like the response that you're getting is more than favorable to what it is that you want. Like it's kind of like a ask and you shall receive. That's where you're at with that one. What's the guidance for this? The 10 of Cups. Ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. I think that you are going to be a lot more supportive than you maybe think. And again, if this is around a relationship, the world, the justice, the 10 of Cups, this can be an elevation of a relationship where maybe you guys are dating and you've been dating for a while, you move in together. You know, maybe you've been living together for a while. Now it's time to get engaged. It can be that. For others of you, you just have a lot of support, like a huge support system where people are trying to encourage you to do this thing that you're wanting to do. What's the world about? The Queen of Pentacles. It can be in regards to some kind of business. This is like a lot of very strong doing the right thing, doing what it is that you need to do, staying balanced, you know, not losing sight of the plot. What's that Four of Cups reversed about? The Two of Pentacles, where you felt undecided or you weren't really sure if you could take something on. There can be somebody who is helping you with whatever that is. Like somebody's maybe taking off some of the weight for you. Okay? Because you have a lot of support this week. Like you have a lot of support this week. I do want to say, Sag, be careful with that Mars square to Uranus. Mars is in your sign. Or not Uranus, excuse me, Mars square to Saturn. Because you can feel like you keep trying to push forward with something, but you're like hitting a roadblock, or you could feel like there's some kind of delay. It doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It just means that there's a little bit of a delay. So again, rely on your support system that you have, because I feel like it's going to take you to a really good place. What's the guidance for this? The Hierophant. Yeah, again, lean on your commitments. There, I feel like a relationship is hitting the next level, and it can be like a friendship. Okay, maybe you're friends, you become best friends. Okay, maybe you end up joining some kind of spiritual community or a religious community, or whatever it is. You have such a strong foundation for yourself. I'm really not worried about you this week. Expect powerful change. Okay. And then new heights. Let your connection with spirit ground you as you reach for the sky. Again, I think that you have a very strong foundation. So it would behoove you to try to reach for the sky. It would behoove you to reach as far as you can and really go for some kind of goal, because you have such support, not just from the people around you, but God, the universe, whatever you believe in. Then house 10, there's something about your legacy, or something about a relationship status that's changing for the better. House 10 can be about your social standing. It can be about your career, your legacy, you know, how you want to be seen, discipline, structure, your life mission, accomplishments, career, things like that. Okay. So it looks really good. That's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Thank you guys so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. Have a great week, Sag, and I will talk to you soon. Bye for now. All right, Capricorn, you are up. Fix my leg here. Let's see what you have going on this coming week. Okay. Three of Cups. Five of Cups. Are you confiding in somebody this week? Page of Wands reversed. You might have been feeling a little too big for your britches for some reason. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune reverse. The Knight of Cups reversed. My goodness. The Ten of Wands. Well, I'm not gonna, lie to you, Capricorn. I think you've seen better weeks, but it doesn't mean it has to be all bad. I think that the good thing is that you have a lot of support around you. I think that you have people that understand you to a greater degree that maybe sometimes you even understand yourself. And there can be some kind of reconciliation here for some of you, but you could end up feeling like somebody is maybe friend zoning you. Maybe you're doing that to somebody else, but it's almost like you're kind of regretting it. Like you're kind of like, oh man, like, for instance, let's say that you end up going out with an ex or something like that, and you're like, yeah, like cool, and then you're realizing, oh, I think I just want to be friends with this person, right? And so you kind of gotta like deliver the news a little bit. You're like, yeah, I'm sorry, I just want to be friends. I don't really, and then you kind of feel sad about it, and for some reason you may regret saying it, or you may regret the interaction altogether. And I'm wondering, like, for instance, if you're a Capricorn rising, right? You have Mercury going through your 11th house of Scorpio, and then you have that opposition to Uranus retrograde in your fifth house in Taurus. So this can be like somebody trying to be more than a friend with you, and you're like, I don't know, or vice versa, whatever the case is. But it seems like somebody is responding in a way where they're trying to control how you see them, and they can become quite moody or jealous because of the information that you're relaying to them. Okay. For others of you, if it's not necessarily about love, you can be coming together with people, or having some kind of outing. And I think for the most part, I think you have an okay time, but you may end up regretting something that you say, or you may end up being like, maybe I shouldn't have really, I don't know, gave that person my number, or and so I think that you're met with someone that feels like someone that you've dealt with before, but in a different body, and you're like, oh, this feels a little too familiar, or something like that. And I think with that Ten of Wands, someone may be taking it really hard, or Knight of Wands reverse, excuse me, the Knight of Cups reversed and the Ten of Wands, it's like somebody taking something really hard and feeling like they have to, maybe manipulate their way through a situation. Chia seed water. So let's see. What's the nature of that Three of Cups? The Strength reversed. I feel like you give in. It feels like you give in. Okay. Maybe that's what this is. Somebody pulls at your heartstrings, or makes you feel guilty or something, and you give in to a reconciliation, or to, it can be something as simple as somebody trying to get you out of the house. Come on, let's go, Capricorn, let's get out of the house. And you're like, oh God. Why the Five of Cups? The Nine of Wands. Ooh. What is Capricorn trying to do here? What is Capricorn's goal with that Three of Cups? The Moon. You don't fucking know. You might be a little afraid. There may be an emotional attachment here, but you're like, I don't think you really know. Can I get one more? This is something from the past that you're trying to revisit, but you're afraid to, and somebody may honestly put up a boundary with you. Okay. You know what? It reminds me of like when you give somebody who's not even your type or somebody that you would consider. Now, this is going to sound pretentious, but I know we've all thought this once or twice, right? Where you feel like you're like, okay, like I'll give this person a chance. All right, I'll go for it. And it's like this person isn't even your type, or this isn't even kind of your friend group. But you're like, all right, against my better judgment, I guess I'm gonna give it a try. And you end up getting kind of played anyway. You know what I'm saying? You're like, God, or something like that. And you could feel like somebody puts up a boundary with you when you try to visit an emotional conversation. What's that Page of Wands reverse? You may be like, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and get on out of here. Or maybe you do that to someone else, okay? What's that Wheel of Fortune reverse? The Empress. If you are a feminine, I think that somebody sees your value and is trying to make their way back around, and they're trying to get a piece of that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody is trying to come back around and get that good, okay, that you provide. If you are a masculine interested in feminine energy, I feel like you're doing that, okay? But you may end up regretting it or get embarrassed. It feels like something's kind of killing your confidence a little bit. Okay. Tell me about that Knight of Cups reversed, the Queen of Cups reversed. Somebody doesn't trust, the feminine doesn't trust a masculine, and that's why the masculine is trying to manipulate the situation. That's what I'm seeing. Queen of Cups reversed, Knight of Cups reversed. What's that? 10 of Wands. Oh my goodness. The Devil. Capricorn. Devil is Capricorn. Yeah, it just feels very it feels very toxic, it feels very obsessive. It feels very the end justifies the means, or kind of vibe. What's the guidance for this up here? The Fool. You need to let bygones be bygones, and you need to kind of have some chill. Like Uranus energy can be like a little detached, right? But it's of the higher mind. It's we're not trying to, we're focused on change, and we're willing to change, right? We're willing to again let bygones be bygones so we can create a new path or pave a new path for ourselves. This is not about like focusing on the past. This is about focusing on the future. What's the guidance for this? Ace of Swords reversed. If you're kind of putting your foot in your mouth a little bit, I would just like stop talking. Okay. If this is like somebody else who's like trying to manipulate you and stuff like that, like see through the bullshit. Don't turn a blind eye. We have You Are Good Enough reverse, full moon in Virgo. Make miracles. Stay open-minded and receptive to the magic unfolding in your life. Neptune reversed. So this is about being very honest with yourself about the things that need to get better. Like in regards to, even if it's just something as simple as, let's say that you want somebody who is, this is just a very cliche thing. Let's say that you want somebody who is very fit and somebody that looks really good and would like, well, take a look at yourself and ask yourself, are you a vibrational match to that? Or, if you feel like maybe you could just do a little bit better in regards to achieving your dreams, it's asking you to be very realistic about what that means for you. Like, what do you need to change in regards to your life? Do you need to let some people fall away? Do you need to have a better routine for yourself? Do you need to have better standards for who you allow into your life, or what you allow into your life, or what you allow into your body, or whatever it is? So just being very honest with yourself about that, okay? So this is a little harsh. I'm sorry, Cap, but I love you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. I love you, Cap, and I hope that you guys have a great week. Bye for now. Hey, Aquarius, you are up. Let's see. We have a couple of aspects going on with both of your rulers this week. So we have a square between Mars and Sagittarius to Saturn, your co-ruler. Then we have an opposition between Mercury and Scorpio to Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So there can be some challenges this week, but I think you'll be all right. Let's see. The Four of Pentacles reversed. The Page of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles. The Ten of Swords reversed. The Ace of Pentacles. Okay. And the Five of Swords reversed. I actually like it. Okay. This is about getting out of your head and getting to work. I think that you've been stagnant or on the precipice of something or on the fence of with something for a long time, where maybe you've been holding back for a while. You've been maybe a little afraid to take a risk. Now is the time where you let that go. Because I think you're becoming more open-minded in regards to what your possibilities are for work or content creation or writing or learning or education or something like that. Because that Page of Swords is here. So you have a curiosity about maybe working on new things, working on different things, working on different projects, hobbies, something in that regard. But you're realizing it is going to require either a little bit of a financial risk, or you're realizing it's just going to require a general risk from you, needing to take a chance to move out of the place that you've been for a while, you know? And I think that this is something that you're working very hard on. You're very much like taking your time, you know, slow and steady kind of wins the race. But that Page of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, that's Gemini and Virgo, you know? So these are mutable signs. So it's really about kind of going with the flow and being adaptable to your circumstances, which is what I think that you're doing. Something that didn't work out before, it's like we're overcoming that. We're taking the knives out of our back. We're allowing it to, instead of break us, we're allowing it to evolve us. And that's what you seem to be doing. You're done with that. Like you're done with what's been done. You're done with the dones, and you're done with that. Like that is, so you're starting on something brand new with the Page of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. You know, and like there's something that seems very moral and good and right about the path that you're on, at least from what I can see. Okay, like you're not afraid to put in the work at all. I think that for some of you, you may end up getting an opportunity from somebody that's going to help you overcome some kind of situation, and I think it's because you're taking a risk. Tell me about that Page of Swords. The Queen of Wands reversed. Okay. Whoops. You may be spying on somebody a little bit. And I feel like whoever this person is that you're spying on, they can be somebody who's maybe jealous of you. This can be somebody who you're perceiving as having a lot of insecurities. For others of you, you're trying to figure out how to become a leader in some kind of work that you're doing or in some area of your life. But you can still be at a point where you're caring a little bit too much about how you're going to be perceived, or how other people are going to see you. And so there can be a little bit of lack of confidence, like, okay, if I start here, can I evolve this? If I start this content creation, if I start this YouTube channel, whatever it is, am I going to be able to like make it? What are people going to think? So you're kind of just being really slow about it. Tell me about that Four of Pentacles reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed. So again, you're not wanting to stay stagnant. You're like at a place in your life where you realize that something needs to change. You need to pivot in some area of your life, so that way you can be more, have more, be more stable. like especially for some of you, if you felt like you've been kind of piggybacking off of somebody else or relying too much on what other people think or relying too much on other people's finances or something like that, something about that can be changing because you want change in your life because we saw that hangman reverse with the nine of swords and you're stressed out about like what you can't see or you're stressed out in the fact that you've been stagnant for a minute. What's that ten of swords reversed about? The chariot. It's like even though you're afraid to let go of something and totally move on, you're doing it. Okay. For some of you, it can be there's an opportunity to purchase a new vehicle or to go on a trip in order to get out of your head. What's the Ace of Pentacles? The Seven of Cups. Wow. I don't think you just have one opportunity or one job or one hobby or one thing that like you're not chained to one idea. Like there's a bunch of different opportunities and I for you. So I feel like it's something in regards to like making money or health, or maybe it's a bunch of different diets that you're looking at or whatever, right? Sometimes the pentacles can represent health. Um, there's more than one, but what you're doing is you're picking the one that is probably going to be the most work, but at the same time is going to be the most rewarding. So I don't feel like you're taking the easy way out. You're not definitely not taking the easy way out. What's that Five of Swords reverse? The Eight of Wands. Yeah, you're just ready to go. Like I don't think that like you just seem to be a very good spirit. Like you're just trying to be open-minded and you're just really trying to get the work done. Like you want to do the work. You don't want to be stagnant anymore. You don't want to feel like you're stuck. You don't want to like, you know, feel like a pussy and like you're just afraid to do things. Like no, you're going for it. Meditate and contemplate reversed. I feel like you've done enough of that. I feel like it's time to go. Honest echoes. Listen to the whispers of your heart, for you know the whole truth. You already know what you want to do, or you already know what the right option for yourself is. Chiron. But I feel like there's a wound you probably have to overcome in order to do this. But I feel like it's going to be very positive for you. I'm actually really excited. This is a great read. This is a great read, Aquarius. So that's what I have for you, darling. Thank you so much. I hope you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on my website at violettaalexis.com. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Pisces, it is your turn, my darling. Let's go ahead and see what is coming up for you this week. You are going to see a square from Mars and Sagittarius to Saturn in your sign. So you could be kind of putting up a boundary with somebody this week. So, well, let's see. The Judgment reversed. The Eight of Pentacles. Okay. The Star. I'm going to clarify that Judgment reversed. We have the Hermit reversed. The Six of Wands reversed. And the Five of Wands. Ooh, who is in their ego about you? My goodness gracious. So before I clarify, I'm just going to say, like, that Judgment reverse with the Eight of Pentacles and the Star, sometimes the Judgment reverse can represent, like, not believing in oneself or having a lot of self-doubt. I don't think so. Not with the Eight of Pentacles and the Star, no. I think that Judgment reverse is you really not wanting to bring up something from the past or even revisit it. You're like, no. You know what I mean? You could be misjudging a situation. I doubt it, just because that Star and that Eight of Pentacles. I think that you're just very decisive, that you do not want to associate yourself with something, someone, someplace, something like that. You have somebody who's pretty fucking paranoid about you. This person is feeling pretty humbled. They feel like you don't see them, you're overlooking them, they're having a hard time swallowing their pride, and they're in their ego with that Five of Wands. They can be starting some kind of drama with you, you know, feeling very conflicted about how you are reacting or not reacting to them at all. Okay. What's the Judgment reversed? The Three of Wands. It's almost like somebody who, like somebody that you waited on for a while, or an opportunity that you waited on for a while. You're just kind of like, yeah, I can't do that now. Like I'm focused on something else because of that Eight of Pentacles and that star. It's like, God, why are my ears itching so bad? Sorry, guys. I don't know what is up with that. I know it's like an ex who you waited for forever. They came back and you're like, yeah, I can't really do that now. I'm in another relationship, you know, or maybe somebody finally comes back around to try to give you that modeling job you were looking for. And you're like, yeah, I already scored something else. So like, I'm sorry, I can't really help you, you know? And so there seems to be a disagreement between you and somebody else about that, most likely, but you're pretty much, you know exactly where you're going, at least this week. You're very focused on your dreams, your North Star, where it is that you need to be headed. And I feel like your standards are pretty set in stone. Okay. So you're like mastering your dreams. You're mastering this healing, this hope, like you, and you're not just sitting there like, oh my God, I wish upon a star. No, like you're putting in the work towards it. Why that Six of Wands reversed? The Magician, somebody, you are so self-assured this week that you are making somebody else feel less than. Not that you've necessarily done anything wrong, but like, let's be cliche, right? It could be that ex that you always let back in, or that shitty friend that you always forgave and you always gave a chance to, or whatever. And like now you're saying no, you're drawing a line in the sand. And now somebody's like they're clutching their pearls, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, wait, what? Like, it's very humbling. You're humbling somebody. I don't know if it intentionally or unintentionally. What's that Five of Wands? The Tower. They may try to argue with you, and it may feel very unexpected. You may be like, what? Like, or it's something that they're surprised by, because the Tower can be like, surprise, you know, not necessarily for the better. And this is why they're upset, because they're surprised by how you're acting. What's that Eight of Pentacles? The Two of Wands. Like you're ready for new. You're ready to come out of your comfort zone. You're making plans for the future. You're learning something. You're mastering something. You know, you have your shit together. You're getting it together anyway. You know, you're looking to the future. But sometimes the Two of Wands, it means that you have to let something else go in order to carve that path, or in order to follow that path for yourself. And I think that you know that. So like the past doesn't really have a place in your life, it feels. Because, you know, like let's say you're a Pisces rising, you have Uranus going retrograde in your Taurus third house. Okay. You have that opposition from Mercury in the ninth, making opposition to Uranus retrograde in the 12th, Uranus ruling your 12th house. This can be like an unexpected person from the past hitting you up on social media out of nowhere and wanting to reconnect or wanting to collaborate. And you're like, oh, well, I didn't really hear from you, or, you know, and so I'm just kind of, unfortunately, I'm on to other things, you know. Because I think that you're challenging somebody else's expectation of you, whatever Pisces placement you are. I think that you're challenging somebody else's, or somebody's challenging their expectation of you. And I think with that Mars square to Saturn in your sign, I think that you're like, no. Bring love into the situation, reversed. New moon in Aquarius, reversed. Well, speaking of Aquarius, fast progress, move forward with swift precision, and do what must be done now. You are fixed. Yeah, don't allow yourself to get distracted. Like don't allow yourself to get distracted. Like you don't owe anyone anything for the most part, except for like your children or whatever, right? You don't owe this person something, okay? You don't have to love them. You don't have to serve them. You don't have to like it, you don't have to do that. And I think that you already know that. And so bring love to yourself, baby. And through that, I think is going to be through fast progress and maintaining a stable presence in your own life, being persistent and following your dreams, because it seems like that's what you're doing. Okay. So that's what I have for you, Pisces. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching me. I hope that you will like, share, comment, and subscribe. And obviously, if you would like to book with yours truly, you can get a personal reading on my website at violettaalexis.com. You can find that information in the description box below. Thanks a lot, Pisces, and please take care of yourself. Bye for now.